Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass Ranking Nintendo. This is our final episode. We are ranking the Mario Kart series. Of course, everybody, I got the wise Wrestle Knight with me, Mr. Josh Martinez. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Ed. It is, man, it's been a journey. We've gone, this has been fun to go through all these Mario Karts, but I'm excited for these ones.
Yes, everybody, we are going to be talking about Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart A/Deluxe. And I'm going to be upfront because Josh already know I never played Mario Kart 7 on the Nintendo 3DS. And it was just something that I just never thought about. It was a game that was just like, yeah, I'm going to skip this Mario Kart one on the 3DS. Not saying that I don't appreciate it. I just didn't pick it up. So, but Josh, how have you been? It's been a bit. It's been a moment.
Yeah. So I mean, I was a little peek behind the curtain here. I missed last week. I had my cousin up here in Utah. He got married, so I had family come in from California, and that kept me busy all week. So that's where I was. But yeah, it's been a minute, but everything's been good. You saw this already on Twitter, and I don't know how long after this is coming out, but I picked up WWE 2K23 yesterday. Oh
Yes.
man, I've been having fun. This is a fun one.
So it's good this year.
Yeah, so just kind of how that's gone, 20 was awful. Everybody was upset about 20. So they took a year off, 21, so there was no 2K21, and they came out with 2K22 last year, and that really rejuvenated everything. And 23 is just they built on everything they did in 22 and added a few extra little perks, and it's going in the right direction. So for me, not having a console I could play these on, this is like my first wrestling game in a while, and 23 is. I played it for about an hour and a half last night. Oh, it was so much fun. And I've only just wrestled. I haven't done the story modes. I haven't done the showcase mode with John Cena, but I look for a review on Boss Rush coming soon. I've got
is John
thoughts.
Cena actually back with WWE?
Yeah, so he's kind of part time. He's wrestling for this WrestleMania, but he's not full time. He's kind of doing what The Rock did at the end of his time with WWE, like in 2003 and 2004, where he'd show up for big matches, but he wasn't on TV every night. Same thing, John Cena. Before to this stretch, he wasn't on WWE programming until the Monday before the New Year's, and then before that, it had been a year since he had been on. So yeah, he's kind of on and on. He took that The Rock route where he's doing Peacemaker. He's been in movies. So he doesn't come back very much, but he still makes the time to show up from time to time, which everybody hated him about 10 years ago, and now they love him.
Yeah, I know Batista completely left because he's doing all of his stuff. I still want to see Knock at the Cabin. He has gotten bigger. Just like, okay, someone's been lifting or someone's been eating good.
Well, the thing with Batista, I wrote a Boss Rush banter on this about wrestlers turning into actors. I think Batista's the best one to do it right now.
Yes.
The Rock's a bigger draw. Don't get me wrong, but Batista's got wide range. He could be in Knock at the Cabin. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in that, I forget what it's called. It's like a war movie where he's playing an Iraqi vet, and it's like, man, this dude is just hopping all over. Where The Rock's is playing the same character in 5 different movies.
It's just something about Batista's that, he could be serious, he could be comedic, in his seriousness, but there's just something about him. He has some kind of appeal to him that just be like, man. Because I remember that I know he was a heel, like a bad guy when he first started, but I think it's like when he started doing movies, and I know he has a book out that I might have to go buy and read. there was just a change in him. I know he was playing the character, but I'm just like, man, Batista's really good at acting. Even though he's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I haven't never taken an acting class. He's really good at what he does.
Well, what's funny is all this goofiness you see out of him at like Guardians of the Galaxy. I
Mm-hmm.
watched on Peacock they have they're called WWE 24, I think. Anyway, it's like documentaries on the wrestlers, and the Batista one is really really good. That dude has the most social anxiety I've ever seen. Like he is so nervous around people, but when he goes out, he can put on that persona, and he's like, that's really my only way I can interact with everybody. So he's like, on the road, he would get he like it's kind of where he started to fall into drugs at times and all that stuff. But it was like, yeah, he's such a good actor because he is not like he's portrayed in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's actually a really shy dude who kind of has some social anxiety. So,
Uh, well,
but anyway,
Josh, let's get into Mario Kart 7, this history. It was developed by Nintendo EAD and the Virtual Studios. It was released in Japan on December 1st, 2011, Europe on December 2nd, Australia on December 3rd, North America on December 4th, and Hong Kong on September 28th, 2012. The game contains 17 characters and it sold 18.97 million copies worldwide. Now, there are some tracks to this one, like there are some retro ones and some new ones for it. So the new courses in the Mushroom Cup was Toad Circuit, Daisy Hills, Chi Chi Lagoon, and Shy Guy Bazaar. In the Flower Cup, there was Woohoo Loop, Mario Circuit, Music Park, and Rock Mountain. Star Cup had Piranha Plant Slide, Wario Shipyard, Neo Bowser City, Maka Woohoo. And then the Special Cup was DK Jungle, Rosalina's Ice World, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
And then for some of the retro courses, they had the Shell Cup with N64 Luigi Raceway, Game Boy Advance Bowser Castle 1, the Wii Mushroom Gorge, and from the DS Luigi's Mansion. The Banana Cup had the N64 Koopa Beach, Super Nintendo Mario Circuit 2, the Wii Coconut Mall, and DS Waluigi Pinball. The Leaf Cup, they had the N64 Kalimari Desert. Sorry about that. Sorry, I had sushi today. DS DK Pass, GameCube Daisy Cruiser, and for the Wii Maple Treeway. And then they had the Lightning Cup from the Wii was Koopa Cape, GameCube Dino Jungle, the DS Airship Fortress, and then the Super Nintendo Rainbow Road. So it had all of those tracks in this game. So 8 tracks with 8 cuts with 4 tracks, which gave them 32. Now, there are some new power-ups that did come too. They had the Fire Flower, which allows the players to throw fireballs that bounce off walls and cause other players to spin out of control on impact. Up to 3 fireballs are allowed at a time per player. Throwing a 4th one will make the oldest one disappear. If 10 fireballs are used, this item wears off immediately. You have the Super Leaf, which gives the player's card a tail that can be used to deflect items, knock over opponents, and collect coins. The tail will disappear at the moment of, or if the player is hurt. And then the Lucky 7 surrounds the player with 7 items that rotates around this cart. The player receives a mushroom, banana, green shell, red shell, blooper, bomb, and a star. And a star. CB. The computer can't get this item unless only one type of item is chosen in battle mode. But you still had like the star, lightning. You had the blooper, which is the ink squid that throws out the ink. You still had bullet bill, the golden mushroom, the triple mushroom, the baba, the spiny shell, which is the blue shell, triple red shells, red shell, triple green shells, green shell, the triple bananas, and the bananas. So what are your thoughts about this one, Josh?
So Mario Kart 7, in my opinion, is not a bad game. It's just a forgettable game. I played this one. I know you said at the top that you hadn't. I had this one for a little bit, and as much as I love Mario Kart, I got bored of this one pretty quickly. And that's not any knock against anything. It just, there was nothing, there were some new items, but it just, you know how when you get Mario Kart, you expect something new to be added in. You feel like it to be different than the previous one. This one just felt like a very safe entry that, again, was not bad, but it's forgettable. And going through these courses too, these are some good courses. That's the retro courses. I think that's like their best batch of retro courses I've ever seen, including on 8. Like, these are all 16 of these courses I really like, and to have them all there in handheld, that was good. But I felt like their new courses kind of struggled in areas. They're just very forgettable. And I mean, 2 of the courses are just skinned from Wii U Resort, like the Woohoo Loop and the Maka Woohoo. Those are just that's just from what I have it here, Wii Sports Resort. So it's an ad course. It's just so they can get attention on that game that I had never heard of prior to playing Mario Kart 7. And those weren't that fun. I didn't like those ones that much. But I mean, there were some fun ones in here, but it's a forgettable course. It's a forgettable entry. And I mean, I don't blame you for not playing it. You didn't miss much on it. If you played DS, if you played Wii, minus the controls off of the Wii one, this is just the same game, just enhanced graphics. So, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I traded this one in pretty quickly. Just, I got bored of it pretty fast. And I love Mario Kart, but they're just, I don't know. And some of the extras, just there wasn't much to do really past that. And having it on the 3DS, I don't even know how well I played it. It's hard. I mean, Mario Kart's all about multiplayer. This one was harder to do multiplayer on for. I'm sure it had an online feature. I'm sure it incorporated Street Pass. I just never used it. So it was just me and time trials, and you get bored of that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, the characters in the game is Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Toad, Koopa Trooper, Daisy, Wario, Rosalina, Metal Mario, Shy Guy, Honey Queen, Wiggler, Lakitu, and the Mii. So your Mii character that you made on your 3DS, or they were in the game. Yeah, I think. And I love my Nintendo 3DS. We got a Ranking Nintendo, and we have an episode on that system, and we talk about it. I just skipped
by
this
the way,
one.
Ed, Corey put that one criminally underrated. I think the 3DS is one of the best handheld consoles that Nintendo's made, but that's neither here nor there. That's just my 2 cents on your guys' episode. I love the 3DS. I thought it was such a good console.
It is, or a handheld, I should say.
I think,
it's a great.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard Corey giving all that shade on that, I'm like, man, I love this console. It's so much fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to inject there.
That's completely fine. Yeah, I love hearing the opinion about the ranking and what people thought, because I don't have the full ranking in front of me, but I know, like personally for me, it's literally was a struggle to hear how we rank things, and of course with me playing all of these Nintendo systems, playing all of the software on those systems, it's kind of hard to place them in different places when you have others who also played it and played those certain games and stuff. So trying to rank it was like very difficult. I know Switch is number one, it is already out there, but I'm just like, man, to go from Switch to Wii U to GameCube, but then it's just like, really, this over N64 or this over Super Nintendo? It's just like it's so hard to rank on where people will put it at, and I think that's what's good about ranking consoles. Like you kind of need a odd number of to help you rank, because if there's two votes for one thing and there's one vote for that misses out, then at least you have a guarantee that this has to go there, or this system has to go there. So yeah.
You
Well,
were
I
going
know.
off on the characters here, Ed. Who in the world thought it was a great idea to add the Honey Queen into this game? It's such a random character because that's from Mario Galaxy. So
Yes.
it's a fresh title at this point. 2011. Mario Galaxy came out in what, '06? So it's '07, somewhere around there. It's
Hmm.
not that far from that. But I mean, the last character I expect to be in here is the Bee Queen from a random galaxy where you have to be a bee Mario to run all over her and scratch all the parasites off of her. I forget what that whole star was, but yeah, it's just such a random one. I didn't expect it when I was playing through it and I unlocked her. I'm like, what? where where did the Bee Queen come from? And where in the world is Waluigi in this game? There's no Waluigi in this, but we got the Bee
I,
Queen.
I have not one idea.
It's a
Well, I
it's a
think
weird lineup.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of spoke our piece of Mario Kart 7. I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't play the game. Josh felt that it was underwhelming. So that just give us more time to speak about Mario Kart 8.
Real quick,
So
Ed.
go ahead.
Last thoughts on this one. There were some good courses, and this will help lead into Mario Kart um, 8.
Hmm.
Because some of these courses did make the transition over, and it was good. So the Music Park is one that was um, is one that made it over to 8. That's a lot of fun. Neo Bowser City was a part of the DLC over to 8. That was fun. Um, and I did like, for all of the bluster I had on all these, I did like Shy Guy Bazaar. That one was kind of a cool one to do. But yeah, there were some good courses. Oh, DK Jungle, that was another one that was really good too, because that's
Hmm.
playing off of the Tropical Freeze. Um, no, not Tropical Freeze, the DK Country Returns game, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. So there were some good courses in here. They just all made their way to 8 because nobody played 7. But
All right.
and then also the Lucky 7. I mean, they have the predecessor. That's the predecessor to the Crazy 8 in Mario Kart 8. You'd get 7 straight items that just would circle around you, and you could be strategic or just launch them all at once. And that was fun to do. That was a lot of fun to do. And but again, it's a thing that got carried over to 8 because nobody played 7.
It,
Anyway,
I
last
consider I consider that as the wild card from Uno, not the draw four wild card, but just the wild card. Like you'll get these items, and you can change the kind of the track or your placement depending on what items you used strategically.
and
So.
I believe they stuck. Let's see. Yeah, they stuck a bomb in here, which is just crazy because half the time, because you don't control what order they come out. So sometimes you could hit the star before you hit the bomb, and it wouldn't
Hmm.
matter. Other times you'd hit the bomb and you'd hit somebody before you could launch the star, and you get blown up too. It just was. It was a wild card. Like I actually didn't like getting them because I didn't know what to expect. I kind of like to plan out things when I do things with Mario Kart, but this one, I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know what to expect. And I've got this bomb that's lit, rotating around me. I don't know what to do with it. And so, yeah, this was that was a cool addition. And it was something that built onto 8 that we'll talk about here. And thank goodness some of these didn't. The Super Leaf was, I mean, I didn't like it. It just, honestly, until you read that the tail was meant to deflect items, I didn't know it did that. I thought whenever I hit the tail, it just gave me a little boost. That's
Oh
literally
wow.
what I thought I did. And that might be because I didn't pay attention, but
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a reason why this one did not come back. It just was, and they replaced it, I think, with the boombox. But yeah, it was fun, but it was a forgettable game.
Well, with Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it was developed on by Nintendo EAD and EPD. It was released on Wii U in Japan on May 29th, 2014, and then worldwide on May 30th. Nintendo Switch got the deluxe version on April 28th, 2017. Mario Kart 8 sold 8.46 million copies on Wii U and 52 million on Switch, which makes it a combined 60 million copies. The Wii U Mario Kart had DLC for $12.99, while the deluxe version contained all the DLC with new DLC tracks releasing on Switch. It's free if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. And at the time of this recording, everybody, they are on Wave 4 of it. And they just added Birdo to it and a new course for Yoshi's Island with it. I bought this game digitally when it came out. I didn't actually buy it like until almost 2019 that I bought this game.
You missed out,
So,
Ed. This was a fun one. So I this was about the time. So 2013,
oh, no,
I
oh,
got Oh,
oh,
sorry,
no,
go
before you
ahead.
go, Josh. To make it clear, everybody, the deluxe version of Mario Kart 8 I
Okay.
didn't buy. I did buy Mario Kart 8 for Wii U. I actually bought it for me and my mom. But the thing about it is that when I bought it, it came with a free digital game that you could
Gotcha.
download so that you could choose. So when I brought it, I picked Pikmin 3. So I had the physical copy of Mario Kart 8, and then I had the digital copy of Pikmin 3. So I got 2 games for the price of 1.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, they really were trying to sell stuff on the Wii U. I feel bad because I agree with you guys. That was It's an underrated console. You take away that bulky gamepad, that's a fun console. And even with the gamepad, it wasn't that bad. I know. I enjoyed the Wii U, but I mean, you pointed out those numbers. That's less than half of what Mario Kart 7 sold, like just
Mm-hmm.
on the Wii U, and then 52 million buy it on the Switch. It's because it's a great game, but
And
nobody had
it's
the Wii U. So,
still selling. We was doing charting the course for expansion pass, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was right on that list, still selling in Japan and here in America. So, uh, but
sorry,
for
Ed, my clock went off.
but for Mario Kart 8, the characters were Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa Trooper, Shy Guy, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Waluigi. The unlockable racers were Rosalina, Metal Mario, Lakitu, Toadette, Baby Rosalina, Pink Gold Peach, Iggy Koopa, Roy Cooper, Lemmy Cooper, Larry Cooper, Wendy O. Cooper, Ludwig Von Cooper, Morton Cooper Jr., and Your Me that you use. The DLC racers, you had Raccoon Mario, Cat Peach, and then you had Link, and then you had the Animal Crossing characters, which was 4 of them. You were able to add different colors to your Yoshis and to the Shy Guys that was on it. So you had different cards on it. Also, they had a promotion with Mercedes Benz, so you were able to drive a Mercedes Benz in Mario Kart 8 for it. So
I love that. That was so funny. I remember just flipping through them after, or when I would unlock things, and then there's just Mercedes Benzes in there. I'm like, man, this game is just. I love this game. You have Donkey Kong driving a Mercedes Benz. It's just funny to me.
Exactly. The cups were Mushroom Cup. It had Mario Kart Stadium, and now these are all new courses for the game. For the Mushroom Cup, you had Mario Kart Stadium, Water Park, Sweet Sweet Canyon, and Thwomp Ruins. For Flower Cup, you have Mario Circuit, Toad Harbor, Twisted Mansion, Shy Guy Falls. For Star Cup, you had Sunshine Airport, Dolphin Shows, Electrodrome, and Mount Wario. For Special Cup, we had Cloud Top Cruise, Bone Dry Dunes, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. For the retro courses, we had the Shell Cup, which was from Wii, Moo Moo Meadows, Game Boy Advance, Mario Circuit. For the DS, Cheat Cheat Beach. For the N64, Toad's Turnpike. And the Banana Cup from GameCube, we had Dry Dry Desert. For Super Nintendo, we had Donut Plains 3. For the N64, Wario Raceway. And for the 3DS, DK Jungle. For the League Cup, for DS, you have Wario Stadium. For GameCube, Sherbert Land. 3DS, Music Park. Or the 3DS Melody Motorway, in a sense. And N64, Yoshi Valley. And then for the last cup, which is the Lightning Cup, you had TikTok Clock for the DS. For the 3DS, Piranha Plant Slide. For Wii, the Grumble Volcano. And then you had the N64 version of Rainbow Road. The DLC courses from The Legend of Zelda was the Egg Cup. You had GameCube's Yoshi's Circuit, Excite Bike Arena, Dragon Driftway, Mute City, and the Triforce Cup. From the Wii, you have Wario's Gold Mine. For Super Nintendo, Rainbow's Road, Ice Outpost, Hyrule Circuit. And then for the Animal Crossing DLC, you had the Crossing Cup, which was Baby Park from GameCube. From the Game Boy Advance, Cheese Land, Wild Woods, and then Animal Crossing. And then for the Bell Cup, you had from the 3DS, Neo Bowser City. Game Boy Advance, you had Ribbon Road, Super Bell Subway, and then Big Blue. And of course, there's battle stages. And then you had rupees instead of coins on Hyrule Circuit. You had bells for Animal Crossing. The new items you got were a boomerang flower, which allows players to shoot 3 boomerangs to attack other racers, having effects similar to those of bananas. They also come back to you, hence the name. Potted Piranha Plant. The Potted Piranha Plant sits in front of a cart and can be used to attack other players, similar to how a Super Leaf worked in Mario Kart 7. The Super Horn can be used to block incoming projectiles, including the elusive spiny shell, which would not be blocked in any previous game. Which could not be blocked in any previous game. So
that's a game changer. That's a game changer, that one.
Yeah, so if you were in first place and the blue shell was coming, you could use it and knock it out. The Crazy 8 is a very similar to the Lucky 7, added only a coin item to the 7 items that circle around the cart. So it's the same thing, it's just that a coin was added on. So those were the new powers for the game. The ones that's been missing is the fake item box, the Super Leaf, the Lucky 7, Power Block, Mega Mushroom, and then the Thundercloud for it. So yeah, those kind of like the things that came with this game. And then like we said in with the deluxe, they got new tracks and some other additional tracks along with the deluxe um in this game. So man, Mario Kart 8 is really fun. It's really good. And what I like about Mario Kart 8 is that it does the twists and turns. So sometimes you'll hit a loop and go upside down, or you'll go up to the side, you'll go underwater, different you do different routes. And when you hit a ramp, you could do some kind of tricks in it, and you'll paraglide down to like the next section of some of these courses. So they really changed it up on how you want to go about it. And of course, you still got your bikes, you still got the regular cars, and some additional transportation items to use. So yeah, that's Mario Kart 8. Josh, thoughts?
Man, this one is so much fun. This is so like I was starting to say, I got back into gaming. Like I would game a little bit before this, but
Mm-hmm.
2013 I got back in. I got the Wii U, and shortly after that, I think it was early 2014, my wife and I grabbed Mario Kart 8. And this game, I wore this game out. You know, I I love the Wii U, but I mean, we can't deny that it did struggle with its library. This one was like what I played the majority of my time on. It was so good. It was like you mentioned this, the anti gravity sections where could like be driving on the wall and stuff. That was so cool because not just was it in the new courses, but the retro courses had them in there. So even though these were retro courses, they're completely different courses than what you played in the previous games because you can't like Toad's Turnpike, for example, in the N64, you just drove on the street. In this one, you could drive up on the wall, like, and you could avoid all the cars. You would get slower, but you could avoid them. Like it's just these are completely different courses. And also the one I loved, Rainbow Road from the N64.
Yes.
It was one lap was split into three. So because in the N64 that course it took you 5 to 6 minutes to get through. Um,
Yeah, that one
like
was long.
Yeah, so this one is actually short. It's like a minute and a half for the whole race because they broke up the one lap into three sections. So it's a little bit more chaotic, but I mean, that's what made this one great. It's chaotic. And these courses, the new courses in this game, I think there's two on here that I'm not a big fan of, but
Hmm.
I love these courses. That Sunshine Airport and Mount Wario and Electro Dome. Woo! Though I love that Star Cup in this game is so much fun. Those are my courses.
Uh, I really don't have a favorite. I think I get so into the racing because I kind of play with Dan and David and some other people. Like we were running races and stuff, and I was just having a ball cracking up and everything. And so that's why I can't pick a favorite because I'm so used to. I don't get very competitive, but I get to the focus of I just need to get to third or second. If I can get the first, I'm good. I just want my skills to improve, or I want to show off my skills, and sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Not when you're
So
playing with Dan. Dan is good. Dan McCoy
Dan,
is so good. I can't. I played. I joined in with a couple of the writer with David and Dan and another one of our copy editors, Andrew, and we were playing a couple weeks ago. And man, Dan had a sleeping baby next to him and smoked us all. Like he destroyed us. And he's over there like playing quietly so he doesn't wake up his baby. And I'm like, man, this he is good. But yeah, no, this game was so much. That's where I spent the majority of my time was doing
mhm,
the online play on the Wii U. I would just because that Wii U you didn't need to pay for the subscription. You could
right.
do the online stuff. And so when I played it, I remember hours at night just getting on, and you would see where they're from. It was cool because you could see if they were in the United States, it would tell you what state they were in. If they were out of the country, it'd tell you what country they were in. And that was just cool because you could be playing. At the time I was living in Arizona, so mine would say Arizona, and it'd be cool because you could see I'm like playing somebody from Delaware, somebody from Florida,
Mhm.
and I'd be having you could just do like the United States, or if you open up worldwide, I'm playing people from Japan, Germany, and it
I
was
played
like
a lot of people from Japan and Germany.
yeah, and it was fun. It's where I really kind of honed my skills and got. I don't I mean, after playing against Dan, I don't feel like I'm that good anymore, but I felt like I was pretty good at this, and I played a lot of the online stuff, and that's what got me up to there because there's some competitive people on there, and it was fun. And I mean, there was no talking with people because the Wii U didn't do that, but
Right.
I did. I was able to play with my brothers when I did this one, and I could talk to them between races on the Wii U. But yeah, and I mean, the Switch still doesn't let you talk during races. We had to get on a Discord channel to do that. But now this is fun because the online factor of this made it so much fun to be able to play with both strangers and friends. And really, when a game can do that, just bring you together for fun, even if you don't know the people, that's a good game. That just to have a lot of fun with strangers.
That's kind of how I was with when Splatoon first came out. Like I didn't really know anybody when it came to Splatoon, the first one who was playing it. So I was playing online so much with just different people, and I think I love that randomness that comes along with this game. And definitely with the online, if you got chosen, you were able to pick the track first.
Hmm.
And different people would be able to get the choose the track depending on like who won and everything. So yeah, this one, like until I played dead, like I still want to play this story. I have fun playing with David. Like that's one of the things that we kind of want to do with the community, for Boss Rush and just gamers who of different communities that we want to play Mario Kart or get a community night and just play games and stuff. Because Mario Kart would definitely be up there. Would be a fun one just to see the wackiness that would happen and everything.
Well, with the new DLC where you can turn items off, like
Hmm.
Dan was telling me how they were playing once just blue shells and mushrooms. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounds crazy. Like it sounds fun, but that just is chaotic. And that was part of I think that was wave 3 that they introduced that in
Uh,
with the DLC. And it was like, this game was wacky and crazy enough. And now they're adding that in, which makes it so much more fun. And that's the crazy thing, this game has gone through so many different changes over its lifetime
hmm.
that you could honestly argue that Deluxe is completely different than what was originally like before any DLC.
Yes.
It's a different game because I mean through the DLC, for one, Mario Kart became kind of Nintendo Kart because you throw Link and Villager and then later the Inklings from Splatoon in there. So it's like became more Nintendo characters rather than just Mario characters. But the other thing that was crazy is we didn't even talk about this. 200cc was part of the DLC originally for the Wii U. So
Yes.
they did not have so anybody who thought 150cc was tough, they took it to a whole new level and brought you
Because 200 was
200cc.
because it was like super fast. It's like turbo mode while
Yeah,
being hard.
well, and the tough part about it was like you had to change how you raced because when you raced on 150, you had to try and get, okay, I can hit hit the curve at this way. I can slide here. 200cc, everything you learned did not matter because
Hmm.
you had to hit the brake, and I had never had to hit the brake in Mario Kart before, and this one you had to when you hit to the curves. You had to hit the brake a little bit so you could go through it. But yeah, that was such a big deal. And then I think the biggest thing that made me giddy was when I saw those two F-Zero courses come on, Mute City and Big Blue. When those came out in the DLC for the Wii U, I lost my mind. I'm like, I loved it. Was so much fun to play those ones. Like, we haven't gotten an F-Zero game in a long time. That's the closest we've gotten. But those courses were fun. They were great additions to Mario Kart.
Yeah, and that's why everybody wants a new F-Zero so bad.
Right. Well, and I mean, these looked gorgeous. I mean, it looks so. That's the thing too. This game looks gorgeous. Wii U,
Yes.
Switch, doesn't matter. It looks gorgeous, and they put a lot of detail into. I mean, it's still the Mario cartoony thing. It's not like Final Fantasy VII or remake or anything like that. But they've got reflections in the water, like on Donut Plains 3. The course is like wet, like it just rained, and like there's like little puddles of water throughout it, and that's reflecting the sky. Like, that's some good detail. And to see like Mute City, Big Blue in that, like you said, that shows us what they could do with an F-Zero game, and probably up it too from that. But yeah,
And,
this game is gorgeous.
and the soundtrack for A, I love. There's something about Nintendo music that we haven't addressed, and we're probably going to do it on the expansion pass. But Nintendo is so good at doing jazz, at doing classical, like us orchestrated stuff. The Splatoon soundtrack, they've been doing commercials for the new DLC, and I'm just like, why is this rock, like punk rock or pop rock, sound so good in Splatoon? I'm like, it just fits, and I'm just like, Nintendo's music continues to be iconic. It's so great. So just hearing the drums and the do 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 do, like the lightness of it while you turn the curve upside down and hear it just like the crashes and the booms and stuff. It sounds so good. I'm just like, I don't know how does this happen? Like, how do y'all come up with these arrangements? Mario Kart 8 music is like top tier. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think the crazy thing too about this one, and they may have done this in previous games, but I felt like it was really noticeable in this one. They
Mm-hmm.
changed. The third lap was a sped up version of what you were the course music, and in some cases it was almost like they used different instruments on the third lap. Um,
Yep.
and when you got hit by lightning, it got like real high pitched and squeaky. The music, they really. I think if we were talking about this game, the biggest thing we can all say about it is they put a lot of attention to detail into this game, from the
Mm-hmm.
music, from the graphics, from the course design, the players. Just, there's a reason this game has sold over 60 million copies between the two games, and it's because they put a lot of care into this game, and it shows, because this game is pushing 10 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And it looks just as fresh as it did back in 2014. Like, it's
And people
crazy.
And people have to remember the 60 million is just physical copies. Yes, they are on between two systems, but 52 million on Switch and growing. Actually, Mario Kart 8 it has more sales, but Nintendo doesn't report the digital sales of this game. So Mario Kart literally could be at 80 plus million. We would never know because we don't know the digital sales of it. But at 60, with Switch being at 120, it's literally a 1-to-1 ratio. Like that, it's like it's almost 1/3 or even half. Well, at this point, it's half of the Nintendo Switch sales. And as Switch continues to grow, the game sales continue to grow for it. So, um, we probably won't get a Mario Kart 9 until their next system. Who
Oh,
knows?
there's no way they can do that, right, Ed? Like, this game is just so, they're still got four more, and I was talking to David Lasby about this. They have released an entire new game in DLC with these
Hmm.
waves, and it's like, yeah, Mario. People talking about Mario Kart 8. I'm like, or 9. We haven't even gotten all of 8 yet. Like, this game is going to be around. I honestly don't think the Switch supports another Mario Kart game. I think whatever the next gen console is what
Oh
gets
yeah,
9.
yeah.
Because
That we have not seen. There's when we got the sale numbers for Mario Kart 8 and then the announcement of the DLC, we was all certain that 9 wouldn't come out to their next platform, to their next generation console. Because I'm like, why would you put 9 out and you're seeing this game sell like crazy? Like, it's probably the biggest and highest selling Switch game over not Tetris, I'm sorry, over Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing. Now, Breath of the Wild's coming out in a couple of months from this recording, and we don't know if it's going to hit that same number. It could, but we'll have to see how that goes. So,
yeah, and the crazy thing too about it is, let's see, when did the Switch come out? It was early. This wasn't a launch title for it, right? The Mario
no,
Kart
it came in
Deluxe?
April.
Right, that
So,
came out in April.
yeah, so it was April 28th, 2017. So,
Right.
in next month, it will be 6 years that the game has been out.
Well, my point was, I think okay, it wasn't that much. It's a month and a half, but I was going to say I thought Breath of the Wild had a bigger gap on it, like between when it released, but it's only a month, and because the Switch released March 3rd, and Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch.
Yeah.
And then Mario Kart came out the next month, but still a month and a half jump on head start on Breath of the or on Mario Kart. And I mean, think about it too. That's a little risky because when you come out of the Wii U, people weren't high on Nintendo at the time. They were like, well, what's this going to be about? There was the intrigue around the Switch, but I remember a lot of skepticism on, and like I heard you guys have talked about this on Pal Block, that it was make or break. If Nintendo didn't stick the landing for the Switch, then there was going to be some serious discussions on what its future would look like. And thankfully they did.
So the thing about it is that people thought that of the Switch failed, Nintendo should go third party. And I told people, Nintendo has 10 billion yen saved up for them to restart, and the money probably has gone up more because of the sales of Switch. So Nintendo won't be able to do the Sega thing, because when Sega was almost about to go bankrupt, they got out of the hardware business and became software. So when they started putting Sonic and all of their games on GameCube at that time, that was making them money. It literally took a while for Sega to get back into the black and still be around. It's just like they just had to get rid of their hardware division and literally become a third party software. And once that started happening, Sonic on Nintendo consoles and handhelds started making them bank. So even if they put the games out and they lost money, they were able to get that back because it was on a Nintendo platform.
Well, and what I'm saying more is that Mario Kart 8, releasing it that close before people had just made their decision on the Switch, was a little bit of a gutsy move, just because, and I mean, I think they saw it as a way to bolster the Switch and really, because that was a popular game on the Wii U. But, you know, to put it there was, in hindsight, genius, but at the time, I think it was risky, just given the uncertainty on what the Switch was going to be a month and a half after its release. I think people by that summer were bought in, because that Black Friday of 2017 probably was selling a ton of Switches, because I think everybody bought in at that point. But yeah, it was putting it that early in the Switch's life cycle, in hindsight, was a solid move, because that's how it's gotten so high in sales, is people have fallen in love with the Switch and they've played this game, and now you've got the bundles, like the Switch Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundles.
Well, people thought Nintendo was going to fail because it didn't have the third party. It didn't have the EAs and Activisions. It didn't have all that Western third party. But because the Legend of Zelda was so big, and it really changed not just only the landscape of gaming, but the way that people play. You know, they were just like, yeah, that's my handheld, but also, you know, for some people it became their way of playing handhelds before the console, and other times it was vice versa. But people didn't realize that Switch just alone had so much potential and everything. Yeah, with the messaging and marketing, people got it. So when people ended up getting it and started seeing all of these different games come out throughout the year, they started realizing that, oh, Switch got some one-to-one attachments to it. Breath of the Wild was one. Uh, Goodness, Mario Kart was one. Surprisingly, Hades was one because uh when I mean when Hades came out on Switch, people were picking up a Switch to play Hades. Um, Animal Crossing was a big one. Link's Awakening was a big one. Super Smash Brothers was a big one. Pokemon, like if you look at Switch from the beginning until now, you probably have about 20 games that's a 1-to-1 ratio that you could choose from. That's going to be with the Switch. It just happened that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the big one, but you don't even have to go there. You can literally start with Breath of the Wild. And every time people ask, "What game should I get if I'm going to start out with Switch?" A lot of people might say good Mario Kart 8, but others people say get Breath of the Wild, or Hollow Knight. And if you don't have enough for a big $60 game and you can find a budget title, they'll be like, go ahead and get like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, or get your system online and look at all the deals that's going on and stuff. Like they were really telling people that not only are there some great Nintendo games, but there's some third party and indie games and stuff, and PC games for Switch. When a lot of people started seeing that you could do cross save and cross play, definitely with Microsoft and with PC, people were shocked, literally shocked, because it was just like, wait a minute, we can't cross play with PlayStation, but we could cross play with Microsoft. In fact, we could cross save and pick our save up with PC. Yeah, I'm in. And that was selling Switches like crazy.
Yeah, so looking at this list here, like you mentioned, Mario Kart 8 is 52 million. The next one, and this is just crazy, the pandemic helped this game out so much. Animal Crossing New Horizons has almost 42 million sales, and that one released March 20th, 2020, which, for those who remember, that was a week after everything shut down. So this game became popular for that reason because everybody was stuck at home and it just skyrocketed. And then the next closest one is 30 million for Smash Brothers Ultimate. So 22 million separates the number 1 and number 3 games on the Switch list. And that's just a testament to how good. It's 11 million, 10 million separating Animal Crossing and Mario Kart 8. It's just, this game is just, it's found new life, and it's just so good here.
And I tell people, I'm like, you don't realize that this is physical at $60 on one console. Who's doing numbers like that? Like, who got all of these games on one console? You can't say Grand Theft Auto. You can't say Red Dead. You can't. Nope. You gotta have that one game on one console. Can they get to that numbers? And Switch has so many of it. But outside of that, Josh, it is now time to do our final ranking. So let everybody know the ranking is that I'll start with 6. Number 6 is Mario Kart Wii. Number 5 is Super Mario Kart. Number 4 is Mario Kart Super Circuit for Game Boy Advance. Mario Kart 64 is number 3. Number 2 is Mario Kart DS. And number 1 is Mario Kart Double Dash. So we're adding Mario Kart 7 and we're adding Mario Kart 8/Deluxe. Josh.
Real quick, Ed, before you get to that list, just for context, 52 million copies of Mario Kart 8 sold at $60 result in about $3.12 billion for that game in American dollars. That's just nuts money. Sorry, go ahead with the rankings.
No, that's good. That's good. And you think that company gonna go out of business or go to nah. So let's start with Mario Kart 7. Where would you put it at? I think, for me personally, I think I will put it as number 7. I think I will put it under Mario Kart Wii. No, I think I will put it as 6. I still think Mario Kart Wii is not better than 7.
I think it should go higher because I don't. When I look at those 3 games that we have at the bottom half, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Super Mario Kart, and Mario Kart Wii, I think
Mm-hmm.
we can agree that those games were really rough. I don't think Mario
Yes.
Kart 7 was a rough game. I just think it was forgettable. So it hit everything right, but it wasn't innovative. It wasn't memorable. The courses were memorable in some of them by that, but most of them were forgettable. I think it deserved to go above those 3. I'm not opposed to putting it below Super Circuit, but I definitely, this wasn't a bad game. It was a good game. It just wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
great game. And when it comes to Mario Kart, when you're at your 7th version, like your 7th iteration of this, you expect great. You expect amazing. And this game was okay. And so that's why I think we look at it poorly. But when I look at Super Circuit or Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart Wii, I'm like, these games were not. These games struggled. These games were hard. So that's where I would put it. I'm not opposed to putting it down at 5 or something like that.
I think under Super Circuit would be fine. I'm fine with that. So, uh, that is Mario Kart 7 at number 5. 6 would be Super Mario Kart. And then Mario Kart Wii is number 7. Now, I know we got to add 8, and I know that would shift everything. Right
Not
now,
if
I'm
I put
putting
it
it
at the
at that.
bottom, Ed. I'm just kidding.
No. So, I'm going to say, and I love Mario Kart 8. I still don't think it beats Double Dash. I think Mario Kart Double Dash is still number 1, and 8 will be number 2 for me. 8/Deluxe.
I go opposite on that one from you, Ed. I think it's the best Mario Kart game made.
I
I understand why we would put it, like why you enjoy Double Dash, and going through these again, Double Dash is a lot more fun than I remembered it
mhm.
being. But man, 8 just it's got so
I
much going
think
for it.
I think A is just as good as it is. I think it's just I feel like A is just such a refinement, and I feel like Double Dash really changed up the way that you played this game with the gameplay and allowing more people to get evolved and play the game. Because I feel like with 8, you don't have to struggle by yourself. You're working in teams with somebody else and switching carts and hitting different things. And I know that 8, like I said, I love 8. I love the music. I love the track design. But I feel like Double Dash just offered so much more. It was more memorable than 8 has for me personally. So that's why I feel like Mario Kart Double Dash is still number 1. And yes, as much as people love 8 and it's memorable, I think when it comes to talking about Mario Kart, Double Dash always comes to the front of the mind.
See, and I think, I mean, yeah, I agree with a lot of that. I think though for me, and I could fully admit this could be recency bias. I mean, this is the fresh new toy,
Mm-hmm.
fresh new. It's like 9 years old at this point, but I mean, it's a fun game. It's for me, it's just what they've packed into this game is just like it's like a culmination of everything that Mario Kart's done. It's like a celebration of Mario Kart in a way that, and yeah, they don't have the 2 people mechanic that Double Dash did, but I just think from the courses to the online play was so much fun. I think that's just
Yeah.
such a game changer. I mean, I my personal list, I think it's my favorite Mario Kart game for the purposes of this list. I mean, I don't mind putting it at 2, but
Okay.
I'm going to state for the record that for my personal record book, this one's number 1.
Okay. So, like I said, I feel like Mario Kart 8 slash Deluxe, it will be my second for that I like. Okay, so everybody, I gotta put 8 slash Deluxe. That has been it for our Mario Kart ranking. This it goes number 1. Well, actually, number 8, Mario Kart Wii. Number 7, Super Mario Kart. Number 6, Mario Kart 7. Number 5, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Number 4, Mario Kart 64. Number 3, Mario Kart DS. Number 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And number 1, Mario Kart Double Dash. I know we're going to get some discussion about this. Trust me. We're going to get a lot of people probably not upset, but I think people going to be like, "Oh, I should have been on," and argue. And I'm going to tell people that, hey, you had your chance. Y'all knew that we was doing it. I put the call out. My good buddy Josh came through. So that is our ranking. Hey, if you guys want to let us know what you think of this ranking, you can join us on our Discord at Boss Rush Media and let us know, what do you think about this ranking, or how would you also personally rank these games, whether you played it or not, but just even watching a playthrough, how would you rank these games? I love our list. Oh, Josh, you're not.
My bad. Sorry there, Ed. I was going to say that this list is one that's I have a few different things from my personal list, but as a consensus list, this is pretty good. I think the only hot take we have really in here is that Double Dash is better than 8, because I know a lot of people are going to say they think 8 is the best, but I mean, myself included in that. But I mean, Double Dash is you can't. I mean, you can't. It's nothing to sneeze at. It's a good game. It's fun. It's one that needs to find its way back to the zeitgeist so we can all play it again. Because once the GameCube stopped, Double Dash, there's no way to play it. And I think
Right.
other than what is it? Because the Wii U had backwards compatibility. You could play Mario Kart Wii, Super Circuit. Super Circuit made its way to the Nintendo Switch Online recently. DS
Only
to
if you,
3DS has backward compatibility. Double Dash, the only one you can't play readily
unless
available.
you own the cartridge unless you own the CD and GameCube or Wii, like the first or second iteration of the Wii, if you own that, you can still play it. But I understand what you're saying. And I think a lot of people haven't played Double Dash. Yes, it did great numbers, but a lot of people got into Mario Kart a little bit later than the past games. So if they played Double Dash and got it, they'd be like, okay, now I understand why people love this game.
It's one, and I don't know if, and I think you guys have had this discussion on an expansion pass or something. I don't know if at this point, if we get a GameCube Switch Online rather than just seeing what they did with Metroid Prime remastered.
So we're thinking that they're going to be remastering a lot of GameCube games and putting them out like $40.
They'll sell if you do what you did with Metroid Prime. They'll sell. So if you throw Double Dash into that format and get it, honestly, Double Dash is one of those ones. I don't know. I'd probably pay $40 for it, but that's one that would live right at home in a GameCube online package, because I mean, Metroid Prime, that's a game that everybody says is one of the best that ever hit the GameCube. Twilight Princess is another one that's up there. Wind Waker. When I think Double Dash, that's one that is a lot of fun, but it would be better, I think, served in a Switch Online package so you could play it. But like you said, Nintendo's going that way. You got Tales of Symphonia remastered on the Switch. You've got Metroid Prime. I don't see them slowing down on GameCube games getting
Yeah,
remastered at this point. So
like
it
we
makes
said,
money, makes
if
money,
we
it
get
makes money. So
if we get that Soul Calibur 2, it's on and popping. We
oh
get
my
that Soul Calibur
goodness.
2, it is on and popping. Oh, a lot of companies are going to realize that, oh, this game for the GameCube is making us money. Oh, let's put it out. And now, of course, it's going to be on PlayStation Plus. And I gotta let people know that Tales of Symphonia, the one that's on Switch and on PlayStation, is not the GameCube version. Bandai Namco decided to put the PS2 version or the PS3 version. So it is not the GameCube, because the GameCube was at 60 and it did not have these problems. So like I said, we're waiting for the patch. I know people say that it's not running good on Switch, but that's all versions, because even PlayStation 4 is having problems. So
And that's just crazy to me because it took them how long to patch Chrono Cross? They released it last April, and we just got a patch for that because that thing was dipping
yeah.
down to that thing was dipping below 15 frames per second, which was that's a PS1 game. That shouldn't be doing that, and they just barely
That's a
patched it.
PS1 game. Chrono Cross is a PS1 game. That's the problem.
Right. Well, and then they patched it, and a lot of people are saying it's hitting a lot better, but it took them a year to do that. Let's hope it doesn't take them a year to fix Tales of Symphonia. I I have a lot of people I know who love that Tales. That's their first Tales game, and they love it. So
Yeah, and Tales of Symphonia came out in February. That was the game everybody was looking for, and it just, yeah. Did you see?
Octopath passed it because it just Tales of Symphonia struggled. So Octopath
Yeah,
got that shine instead.
and I know Bandai Namco has to feel embarrassed because of Metroid Prime being done by some people from Retro and Iron Galaxy and all of these others. It'd be like, this is how you do a remaster. So,
So here's the
but with that,
question then, Ed, real
go
quick
ahead.
before we close. Double Dash, do you remake it or do you remaster it? Do you put it into the Mario Kart 8 engine or do you just remaster it?
So if they decide to so there's two ways. They could remaster the game and release it as a free game on NSO if they want to. Or they can, if they put all of way from one of the ways or whatever, if they put the whole Mario Kart Double Dash in 8 in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, then you don't need a remaster because all the tracks
Right.
are being refreshed. You got the characters, like the switching mechanic, you got all of that. So if they put all the tracks that's in there, you literally put all the tracks and then add it where you can make your own cups, like custom make your own cups. You can literally go back and find all the GameCube tracks and put them on one, and you'll have Double Dash there.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's one that would be just served remastered. Just make it a good remaster. Because I mean, look at it. Link's Awakening. People like the original one and they like the remake of it, but there's something to be said about going back to the nostalgia stuff rather than doing a similar Breath of the Wild type thing. People like that
Right.
chibi style. So I
Right.
think
At
going
least,
back to retro.
Link's Awakening needed it because it was on a old handheld system.
Mm-hmm.
And of course with NSO, with Game Boy being out, people still could play the original one, but I'm like, this game needs a remake because the original version, even though they have the regular one and the color one, the graphics doesn't match to today's standards of
Mm-hmm.
quality and stuff. So you're able to go in and reimagine the world and give it a more beautiful presentation than what was back in the day. So
Just look at Trials of Mana. That game looked fantastic, but
yeah.
I digress.
So, but everybody, that is it for our Ranking Nintendo Mario Kart. We have finished it. Thank you, Josh, for joining me for all 4 episodes. Everybody, Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Let us know your ranking on our Discord for our Boss Rush Media. And with that, everybody, we'll see you next time on Ranking Nintendo. Right, everybody?
See you later.
Nintendo Expansion Pass is part of Nintendo Power Block and is a product of Boss Rush Media LLC. The show is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio, and is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-host is Corey Derrick. You can find Corey at I am Corey at HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. Follow Expansion Pass as part of Nintendo Power Block and on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.